What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 5th day of October, and here we are at about $3 right now. We've come back up a good little bit. We got 8 hours and 28 minutes left in this wonderful day, left in this wonderful week as well. Up 4.75%, and I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. Looking here like we're ready to break out of this overall consolidation phase here to the upside, which implies they're breaking out of this overall consolidation phase here, which implies, yes, new all-time highs, baby. Blue sky breakout, fantastic growth, and continuation of the move that we're really in the midst of right now, right? It's like this back here, we look at this all as one move, right? With various steps along the way, but this was all one move. Similar. We are continuing the legacy of what started, and afterwards I would expect that this next phase coming would be larger than what we had here. I'm actually curious again because we do this every now and then, but I haven't measured it in a second. What about from the low here to the high? We break out. Man, that would take us to 18 bucks. Wouldn't it be crazy? I would love it. I would really love it if I've been calling for $13 to $15, and we've only raised it to like $16. We've only raised it, not lowered it, all this time, and we blast through it. I would love it if we saw higher targets than even I'm calling for, because at that point, the people who were calling me crazy all along, I feel like it'll really rub it in their face even more that you weren't crazy enough. is what it was. This thing has a lot of potential, and again, the reason why we're talking about this at all, the reason why I'm measuring this is that typically with movements, with phases like this, you get a 1, 2, 3, I don't know why it skipped 4, 5-legged move. Get a five-legged move. What I'm saying here is that I'm expecting XRP to move up again, consolidate again, and then move up one last time, cycle finale finish. Fun fact about these 5-legged impulse counts, okay? And I'm not the most experted person in Elliott wave theory, but I know a little bit. I know a little bit to impress, right? It's like I'm not a magician, but I know some card tricks, right? I know some sleight of hand, enough to impress at the dinner parties. I actually don't know any magic at all, but I'm using that as an analogy. I am not a magician. I'm a musician, but I'm not a magician. What is that? A musician? Like what? You expect me to do magic and stuff? Anyways, getting distracted. Wave 3. Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3 is typically the biggest wave. Wave 3 is typically the largest wave. Wave 1 is typically the smallest. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Wave 1 here, if we're breaking out now, would take us to $17.32. Wave 3 here is typically bigger than Wave 1, typically. Wave 1 is typically the smallest wave between waves 1, 3, and 5. Waves 2 and 4 are the consolidation phases. So I genuinely mean it. Wouldn't it be awesome if we went higher than the perceived targets that we've laid out so far? I actually want to think about that. Because we're on this thought, I want to see, can we make sense out of that? Because here, 1356, you typically do go just above the 1414, but that's pretty far above it. And to be fair, we've done our XRP BTC comparisons, done the math, and we have made sense out of a $17 price. It's not insensible or unsensible, whatever the word. It's not illogical. But getting in between the 1414 and the 1618, I just don't know if I see that happening. Now, here's the one thing I can think of is that this is a high to low. Even though it is of the overall range, it is the high to low of multiple cycles back. So maybe we need to throw on something that's more relevant, more close in time, and look at it like this. I mean, what if we do? What if we go all the way up to 22 to 27 bucks, you guys? What if we really have not been bullish enough? Because again, the thought here is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, which is typically the biggest wave 4, and then wave 5. Maybe you're not in a 5-wave count. I don't know. Crazy stuff. I don't want to say it because I think that this is crazy. But $22 to $27 by the end of October, maybe by the end of November, I don't know. I actually have come around to really thinking that the average coin is not going to top off by the end of October. I don't say top off, I'm sorry. I mean consolidate. We're not going to see like a month-long, 6-week-long consolidation phase at the end of October. I think it will be the beginning of November. I think going into the end of October will push. Going into the beginning of November will push higher. November will be a month to reflect, consolidate, and then December will start to rally again. And going into January, I think they're all going to be green months. They're all going to be green months, but we'll see. Looking at this here on a daily time frame, let's actually look at it on a 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame here for XRP. The RSI is very volatile, so is the price action. The stochastics are bearish, so is the price action. The MACD is, who cares? It's the 1 hour time frame. But it's bullish, kind of neutral right now, suggesting that we could go lower. Cool. You're at $3, psychological support. When that psychological support breaks every single time, it makes people panic. There will be some capitulation here in anticipation that we're going to go lower, but we're not. We're not going to go lower. I think XRP is one of the few coins that actually has more shorts than longs on it on a 30-day period, right? Yeah. Oh, no, the longs came in. Okay, so someone heard my video yesterday, and they're like, okay, well, this isn't right. We need to put some longs on here. That's new. It's kind of interesting that that happened, and you haven't really made too much movements today. And it's Sunday, and it's the weekend. Anyways, 1 hour time frame. Neutral, yet slightly bearish, allowing the price to come down more. Wouldn't be surprised if we went down to about 297, 298. You're at $3 now. A couple of cents. Nothing crazy. Okay. 4 hour time frame here. $3. Uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, ready to break out of this overall range here, right? Ready to break out. Your RSI is very bullish. Stochastics are bearish at the moment. And the MACD is bullish, but allowing you to come down a little bit as well. Daily time frame. Sorry about that. Very neutral on the daily RSI. Bullish on the stochastics. And bullish prospects here with the MACD, because you do have higher lows. You're probably going to get higher highs in the oscillators, these lines here. And you look like you're about to cross above the zero. The last time you crossed above the zero was in July of this year. And that promoted this nice little move that you saw here from $2 all the way up to new all-time highs at $3.68 there. Neutral on the RSI, bullish on the other two. The days ahead might be a little neutral or downward shifted, maybe just the day ahead. But when I say days, I mean the next day or two. But the days after that, 3 days and beyond, the weeks ahead, are very bullishly primed. I want to look at XRP in comparison to others. Let's check that out. Should we do that? Let's do that. Let's put that on there. Yeah, it's not going to give us a price. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do others to XRP, because this, whenever you do the smaller one on the over the bigger one, it doesn't logarith. It doesn't put the chart in log. It's just this weird chart. You don't have any numbers or any valuations to go off of there. I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna do others to XRP. It's a glitch. I don't know if TradingView can fix it. It might just be the way that the software is, but there's some kind of problem with it. I don't know if they're even aware of it. But this, you see, you actually have values here. So this chart is the average altcoin priced in versus XRP. What does that mean, right? XRP priced in versus dollars. This is the price of XRP in dollars. Whereas this, the market cap of the the total others chart buys you that many XRPs. I'm pretty sure is what that means. Anyways, in short, when this chart moves down, XRP is outperforming the average altcoin. When this chart moves up, the average altcoin is outperforming XRP. Okay? Being that alt season is right around the corner, it does kind of make sense that we might see a little bit of a lift in this chart, and we do kind of have this downward sloping trend here, lower highs, lower lows. Maybe we do move up a little bit. I want to look at the daily time frame here, and then we'll zoom back out to the weekly. It does look like we have a bottom. The RSI is bullishly postured, so is the MACD and the stochastics. Weekly time frame, bullish divergence there. It's already played out, though. You do have hidden bearish divergence in all fairness. I'm curious to see, man. I really am curious to see. Because what we're talking about on the US dollar pair, just imagine, right? XRP by the end of October is worth $10 or more. That's a 3x. The average altcoin is going to do more than that. So much so that we pump up. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I'm not getting a whole lot off of this here. It does look bullishly primed, but you have some bearish things going on in your weekly time frame here, if we're being fair. Curious to see. This chart didn't help me out too much. You're finding support here. I would expect that the average altcoin then, I guess, does outperform XRP going forward. I would assume. Maybe not throughout the whole cycle. You'll probably come back down at some point. But then, something like that. Maybe for the cycle finale finish. I don't know. This chart didn't help me as much as I thought it would. Anyways, I didn't get any thought-provoking reveals there. The daily time frame is bullishly charged, neutral on the RSI. Weekly time frame here is also very bullishly charged. We have an uptrend in the RSI. I hope it's very obvious as to where it starts, right? Higher lows, higher highs in this uptrend. You're about to get overbought. We haven't been overbought since November of last year, and you guys remember how fantastic of a move that was. Weekly RSI set to do that. The stochastics are bouncing off the 50, which is good because whenever you bounce off the 50, again, we were doing that back here, and this was what preceded the fantastic move, was bouncing off of this. And the MACD, I know it's crossed red, but it's bullish overall. It's very bullish overall, so I'm not worried about it at all. Cross red, whatever. XRP is about to break out when we're above about $3.16, $3.20. There's no denying that we're in the midst of the breakout, and at that point, the perspective is going to shift from, is it a good buy, is it not a good buy, to, I need to sell my house and my mother's car right now so that I can put all of our money into this before it takes off without us, because this thing it's going to be a freaking moon mission. Again, ending the video here with the same thought that I had in the beginning. The logical, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to say it loud, okay? The logical area to expect by the end of October, if not by the end of the year, is 1356 or higher. And we tickled our fancies with the thought of, what if we do something that's even crazier than that? What if this is the logical thought? $27 or $25 or something in that area there. Because again, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. The only way, if this isn't bigger than this wave here, then maybe it's not a wave 3. Or maybe it's not a 5-wave count. Maybe it's something different. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm not the most experted person in Elliott wave theory, but it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Get in while you can. It's not going to be here forever. In fact, I think over the next 24 hours, the amount of people who will have an opportunity in the history of humanity to buy XRP below $2, this is the last window to do so. Sorry, below $3. You could be a person of historical significance saying, I bought XRP below $3. Nobody else in human existence will be able to say that going forward after this next week is over. If things go the way I think they will. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care, bye-bye.